Today we're talking about leaves and how they work to help plants go through photosynthesis. We already know that when we go through photosynthesis, we take light energy and carbon dioxide from the air and water from the ground, and leaves will go through a process called photosynthesis to create carbohydrates and oxygen. How do they do this is based upon their leaf structure, and structure really, in all things, structure is going to guide function. There are several parts to a leaf. The first part is the cuticle, and the cuticle is going to be that waxy covering. Then we have two layers of epidermis, and the first one is the upper epidermis, and that's going to be on the top of the leaf, and it's basically like that an outer covering of skin on the leaf. The next layer is our palisade layer, and these are going to be long cylindrical cells, and they're going to have lots of chloroplasts. And the reason they have lots of chloroplasts is because they're near the top and they want to soak in as much light as possible. Our next layer is the spongy layer, and our spongy layer is going to have spaces in between the round cells. And those round cells with the spaces in between them are going to allow for gases to move about the leaf. And then we have our second epidermis, the lower epidermis. And again, this is like the covering of skin on the leaf. Now within these layers, we have several different pieces, and we've got a cuticle on the bottom as well. We have several different pieces. We have a vein that goes through leaves, and all of us have seen veins that are in leaves. But the veins are made up of a couple of different items, which I'll get to in a second. We also have openings called stoma, and they are surrounded by two guard cells, and the guard cells plus the opening are called stomata. The veins are made up of two types of material. The first is phloem. Phloem is going to carry food or sugar throughout the plant. And the xylem is going to carry water. And then, as I talked about already, our stoma are surrounded by guard cells. So let's go through the functions of each of these once again. You have the cuticle, which is that outer surface of the leaf. It's very waxy, and that waxiness prevents water loss. The epidermis is going to be the layer right underneath the cuticle, and it's going to protect the leaf. And we find it on both the bottom and the top, just like our cuticle, and it's made up of cells. The cuticle is not made up of cells. The palisade layer is going to be that top tightly packed column-like, cells that are column-like, and those are going to contain lots of chloroplasts. They're going to be soaking up as much sunlight as humanly possible, or I guess plantly possible, so that our cells can go through photosynthesis. Then we have the spongy layer right underneath the palisade layer. The spongy layer is going to be loosely packed cells, and again, they're going to allow for gases to travel through the leaf. So these gases, remember, if I can get my pen to work here, my gases are going to be CO2 and O2. Carbon dioxide is coming in, oxygen is going out. And we need a way for those gases to move between the chloroplasts in the palisade layer and the stomata. If we look at the chloroplasts, chloroplasts are going to contain chlorophyll, which gives plants its green color. And this is where photosynthesis takes place. Within the chloroplasts, we have lots of these stacks here, and the stacks are called granum or grana. And those granum are stacks of thylakoids, and those thylakoids are these green pancake-looking objects. And the stacks allow for a really large surface area in a very small place so that we can go through photosynthesis much more because we need membranes to go through photosynthesis. This surface area allows for a lot of photosynthesis. So a lot of photosynthesis because of the surface area. The thylakoid membranes are a series of membranes that are going to capture the sunlight and allow us to go through photosynthesis. We talked about the veins when I showed you the picture of a plant or a leaf cross section. Those veins are going to contain two types of cells. One is the xylem, which is going to transport water from the roots through the leaves. Remember that when we bring water up through the roots, through the stem, and into the leaves, if you remember back to our water unit or our biochemistry unit, we have capillary action allow this to happen. So capillary action. The phloem is going to transport food or sugar that the leaves make during photosynthesis to the rest of the plant. And so we see the xylem vessel within our vein, and it allows that capillary action to come up and then disperse water amongst the cells. The stomata are going to be openings on the underside of the leaf in the lower epidermis that allows for gas exchange. And we see the opening here. The stoma is this opening, and it's surrounded by two guard cells. These two guard cells are going to be kidney shaped. So here's one guard cell, here's the other, and they're going to be kidney shaped, and those are going to control that opening of the stomata. When they want to release gases, they will open up. When they want to keep the gases inside, they're going to close down. Well, how does all of this allow a plant to maintain homeostasis? Well, photosynthesis in and of itself is creating a way for plants to make their own sugar so that they can create ATP and go through cellular processes that require ATP. And that's part of homeostasis. But also, those guard cells are going to have a huge role in maintaining the plant's homeostasis. When the guard cells lose water, the stoma are going to close so that it doesn't lose any more water. While the stoma are open, those guard cells are going to gain water and swell and open up. So here's a picture of this. When water comes into the guard cells, they're going to open up, and you can see them kind of puffing up here and opening up this area for gas exchange and water exchange. On the other side, we have water coming out of the guard cells, and that closes the stomata up. Stomata are generally closed during the hottest parts of the day so that we don't lose water to evaporation. That's the end of the video for today. This is the basic structure of a plant and how that plant helps us not only do photosynthesis, but also it also allows the plant to stay within the realms of homeostasis.